Hi, I'm Patrick Harrison from the Discraft Underground team. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Discing Gamer. I hope you enjoy my In the Bag. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with throwing putters. So, first putter that I always try to go to is going to be my Pro D Ringer. This thing's nice and straight. I can put it on a little bit of a hyzer, hit it nice and hard, and it'll flip up to flat and actually slowly finish right for some of those understable shots. Challenger OS. Something new to my bag. It's actually replaced what I used my Ringer GT for mostly. And then of course we have the zones. I have my Discraft Underground zone, which actually is not as stable as my Big Z zone. So depending on the kind of shot, I pick which one of these I like and what I go to. So those are putters. Okay, mid-ranges, one of my funnest things to throw, and actually new to my bag. I've only been throwing this for about a month and a half. It's going to be my my Comet. I have a Big Z Comet, thanks to my buddy Leonard Young for hooking it up on this. Everybody in the Midwest probably knows Lenny Young. He's an old school player. Kind of taking a break for a while, but he's definitely helped me out along the way. Plastic. ESP Buzz. This is my straight flyer. Throw it hard and flat. Actually goes straight. Turns over to the right a little bit. Really enjoy throwing this disc. I have a lot of confidence in it. It's been in my bag for a while. Beefier Buzz here. This is going to be a Sparkle Top Bud. It's one of the Ben Calloway Signature Series from last year. And it was always my beefy buzz. I could hold it into just a little bit of headwinds. It would just pop up to flat and still finish, and I could trust it. But in time, it's kind of beat in to one of my straight flyers, which meant I had to add this guy to the bag, which is my Glow Wasp. Sometimes when I throw this thing, I swear it's like a mini Predator. I mean, I can just look at the basket and like, all right, I'm going to put this on a little bit of a hyzer, and it's just going to fly. And then it's just going to slowly bring itself over. And I've thrown some of the other wasps and wasn't a huge fan of them, but I definitely recommend checking out like the Swirly ESP one. My most understable fairway is going to be my Big Z Heat. I've had this since I've been throwing Discraft. It's very
understable. It pretty much only sees the ground for rollers, and that's about it. I can't tell you the last time that I've thrown this in the air. Because I have this guy. I have my first run heat. This is my go-to tunnel shot disc. I really like throwing it in the woods. I can pick out a nice line. I only have to throw it about 80%, and I get a great flight out of it. 300, 330, 340 foot, just nice smooth flight. Z Undertaker, and I also have an ESP Undertaker in my bag. This one is a nice Domi Z one. It's a little bit older run from last year. I like it. It doesn't go to the right very much. Just nice hard flat, goes straight, and I can always have a nice reliable finish out of it. But I know eventually that's going to go away, so I've added one of the Big Z Vultures to my bag, and there's been kind of a little bit of a. This has really bridged a nice gap between my Undertakers and my Predators. Especially as this is starting to beat in a little bit more. I feel like when I first got it, it was a hog. It just wanted to go left. And now it's kind of, I can get it nice and hard. It's got a lot of glide, comes up out of my hand, and just finishes smooth. Good old reliable. It's a Predator. I got this one from, of course, you can see the little heart BSC from, it's Benjamin S. Calloway. Another one of the great hookups that I got from him. This is my go-to on anything that I'm throwing a hyzer on within 340 feet probably. And then we move on to the Machete. So a lot of guys throw the Machete in place of the Predator. This is a super beefy run. All I use this for is overhand. That is it. Overhand, overhand, overhand. That's all that it sees. Or sometimes, I guess occasionally I do hit it on a forehand if it's a really shorter forehand where I need to make that movement to the right. But very rarely.
All right, we'll go ahead and talk about some distance drivers now. So I have a first run nuke, which I've had since last year. It was given to me by Brock Dow. It's well seasoned. I started out on a little bit of a hyzer, sometimes a lot of bit of a hyzer, depending on how hard I'm going to throw it. Always flips to flat. Usually has a nice finish to the right for me, so it's great to have that kind of shot. I really like it with elevation as well. I've got a 2018 Ledgestone ESP glow nuke, and these guys go far. If you can get your hands on one of these and you like throwing nukes, and you like how maybe like the Big Z nuke flew last year, this is pretty comparable. Definitely a nice bomber disc. For my flex shots, I'm very lucky. I have this super pop top ESP nuke, and I love just ripping it out there on a nice big Annie, watching it just finish and pan out of the flight and carry some good distance. So if I'm a big wide open field, it's fun to throw that shot. And then super stable Nuke OS, mostly for forehand rollers, but occasionally as a utility disc if I need to do a weird thumber that I can't do with my machete, or I need to definitely get left, or it's 100-mile-an-hour winds. But for typical headwinds, I'm usually going to go with one of my forces. I've got an Austin Turner force here that I really, really like. I've had it since he released them last year, and it started out pretty much just as my beefier headwind disc. And I didn't get a lot of distance out of it, but now that it's beat in, I can just rip this in a headwind, and I can get just as much distance as I get out of my nukes in this. So with the help of the wind, I can throw it far. But we have this as well. This is the new glow forces. I know you've seen them in. I know they had them in the Rumble discs earlier this season. So a lot of you guys that are locals that have picked up like the Rumble ones, same run, and they go far as well. This one's still a little bit beefy. I've only thrown it maybe 3 or 4 times, but I can definitely see if I've ever needed to replace my Austin Turner one. I mean, this is going to be the guy. And my last disc for those occasional forehands, mostly right-hand, backhand dominant player. But I do throw overhand quite a bit with like my machetes. But I throw forehand with this guy. It feels great. The Punisher's not super beefy like the Forces. Like the Forces, I feel like I have to throw them and get them on a little bit of an ante. This I can throw flat, even on a little bit of a hyzer, and still get 280, 300 foot to get me out of some trouble, or to throw in on those holes where forehand's a shot and you got to do it. But I think that's my bag, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this.